Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your back porch professor, and the fallout over this weekend for the Wall Street Journal's attempted hit piece against Trump has been absolutely brutal. As I'm sure you all know, just days back, the Wall Street Journal deliberately tried to destroy President Trump. You got to get that. They deliberately tried to destroy Trump's presidency. Both left and right, unfortunately for them, both left and right recognized that the story was complete BS. And I want to underscore here that the whole purpose of that BS story, published by Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal, was to destroy the Trump presidency. These so-called journalists, these globalist radicals disguised as journalists, are the biggest scum on the planet. The Wall Street Journal makes CNN look like Breitbart Media by comparison in this case. They are as scummy as scum gets. And that attempt to destroy President Trump is already blowing up in their faces. Now, we're talking about mass subscription cancellations. We're talking about congressional action. And we're talking about a $10 billion lawsuit that could change media forever. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. This isn't just about one fake story. What happened in the last 48 hours reveals the exact playbook they're using against the MAGA movement and why their desperation is reaching pathetic and embarrassingly ridiculous new levels. So I want to break down for you three critical developments from this story that prove the legacy media industrial complex is in full panic mode. By the end, you'll understand why this could be the moment everything changes, particularly for us, for the conservative media, and why the establishment is so terrified. So let's start with what actually happened. So on Thursday evening, the Wall Street Journal published what they claim was a bawdy birthday card, supposedly written by Trump to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2003, and it included crude drawings and inappropriate messages that were completely out of character for Trump. Trump, of course, immediately called it fake. And I mean immediately. He completely and totally denied any connection to this supposed birthday card. And that the Wall Street Journal ended up even admitting they didn't even have the card in their possession. They couldn't even verify the thing actually existed or was authentic. And so this is why Steve Bannon actually believes Rupert Murdoch's fingerprints are all over this hit job. The Murdochs hate Trump. You don't get a more never Trump sycophant than the owner of Fox News, unfortunately, as well as the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal. And Bannon just said on his War Room podcast that Murdoch's fingerprints are all over this hit piece. I mean, the Wall Street Journal is what Bannon calls the neoliberal, neocon sharp end of the stick that they come after Trump with, because they're considered by the establishment to be conservative, relatively conservative. The wider legacy media presents the Wall Street Journal's hit pieces against Trump as having a plausibility that CNN or MSNBC wouldn't have, given their rabid leftist leaning. So Murdoch takes advantage of that, at least periodically. Same thing with the New York Post, by the way, oftentimes. And you'll see with the New York Post, they'll publish these ridiculous polls that show Trump with a falling approval rating, even though no reputable pollster is showing that, but they'll publish that anyway just to hit him, just to hurt him. So, and it's because the legacy media is more attracted to narrative than news. But Rupert Murdoch is inordinately influencing the anti-Trump narrative here, according to Bannon. Unfortunately for Murdoch, the response was devastating for the Journal. Within hours, Congressman Randy Fine pledged to introduce legislation terminating the House's Wall Street Journal subscription contract. And his exact words were, Americans shouldn't be paying for disgusting, filthy rags. But it obviously wasn't just politicians. Thousands of readers on X announced they were canceling decades-long subscriptions. And then Trump announced that instead of just complaining as well as denying, he's going full nuclear. He's announced he's filing a $10 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Rupert Murdoch personally. So he's doing to News Corp what he did to ABC and CBS. So as you know, Trump recently settled with ABC for $16 million and CBS for even more. It's an undisclosed amount. Most believe it's above $30 million. This is for 60 Minutes deliberately. Their deceptive editing of that disastrous Cackles Kamala interview. And we talked about this on Friday's live stream, but this Wall Street Journal hit piece explains why Trump has been distancing himself for the whole Epstein saga over the last several weeks. We now know that he got wind that the hit piece was coming a couple of weeks back and that he warned Rupert Murdoch it was all a scam. This was totally fake. Don't you dare print this. But Murdoch did it anyway. And so now Trump is, in his words, suing his ass off. And then, of course, Trump did that major jiu-jitsu move. The very same night this story dropped on Thursday night, Trump ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the unsealing of Epstein grand jury testimony and related files. So think about that strategically. The media tried to use Epstein as a weapon against Trump. So Trump turned it around and made transparency the new weapon. Now he's the one demanding full disclosure while his critics are the ones going, well, maybe not everything. So this is political jiu-jitsu at its finest, using your opponent's attack against them. Now, this whole story reveals something much bigger about the current media landscape. According to the data we have, congressional Democrats just hit 19% approval, all-time low, that according to the latest Quinnipiac polling. Meanwhile, traditional media credibility is at an all-time low. According to Gallup, the legacy media is currently suffering their lowest level of approval and trust ever. When the Wall Street Journal publishes something this easily debunked, that even Democrats want nothing to do with, it shows they're operating from a position of desperation, not strength. It shows that both the Democrats and the legacy media are at the ends of their collective ropes. You could smell the decline. Moreover, this perfectly illustrates why we are the media now. Independent, decentralized, online content creators are the media now. When readers don't trust the Wall Street Journal to fact check a simple story, they're going to find their news elsewhere. They're going to go to independent content creators who are completely transparent with the truth. The subscription cancellations aren't just about this one hit piece. They represent a fundamental breakdown of trust between legacy media and their audience. The Wall Street Journal thought they had something that would permanently damage the Trump presidency. Instead, they found themselves slapped with a $10 billion lawsuit. They triggered a massive subscriber flight and ended up handing President Trump the perfect opportunity to demand transparency on the Epstein files, thus reuniting his entire base. This isn't just about one fake story. It's about the death throes of an industry that chose political warfare over journalism, and the market is responding accordingly. So what do you think? Are we witnessing the final collapse of the legacy media? Or will the Journal survive this self-inflicted wound? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button for breaking news and analysis you're not going to find anywhere else. Love you guys. God bless.